Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel God Will Do It For You. My name is Steven and I hope everyone's having a great day so far. It's Friday, so there's one more day until the weekend. But what we're going to be talking about today is we are closer than we think. And when we're speaking of this, we're talking about closer to our goals, closer to God, closer to better health, closer to getting out a particular circumstance, closer to a breakthrough. Whatever the case may be, we are closer than we think, because sometimes the circumstances can show otherwise, and you're like, I don't know how or what is going to come of this. And that's why I made the other video the other day about myself even just feeling a little lost, as far as the direction. But this is why it's important to draw near God. And so we're going to go into Deuteronomy chapter 4. I'm going to go to verse 29, and it says, "But from there you will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him if you search after him with all your heart and with all of your soul." Now, why is this important? Why is it important to seek God and to draw into him? Well, doing this helps build the relationship between you and God. It's an open invitation through prayer to seek him, to get wisdom and knowledge from him, and also clarity. Because sometimes we aren't sure regarding our next steps in life, and we aren't sure on exactly what is going to be done. We aren't sure how this health situation is going to be taken care of, or you may even have the solution to the health situation, but for some reason the insurance isn't able to afford it. Whatever the case may be, you're like, hey, I have a job, but my car's broken, and public transportation, this and that, I have kids. Sometimes we are in situations where we're just scratching our head and we're saying, how is this going to work out, God? But fail to realize that we are closer to the solution than we think, as long as we don't give up, as long as we don't throw in the towel, as long as we keep the faith and keep leaning on God. We will get that clarity when the time is right. We will. Because trust and believe, this past week, I was like, man, I really want to know, is it that you just want me to drop music? Or do you want me to put the food business on the forefront? What is it that you want me to do? Any people in my life you want me to cut out? What is it that you want me to do? And I'm waiting on that clarity. But also, just as the Holy Spirit says, he says, hey, make sure that you are seeking all your knowledge and wisdom from the Bible. And at that point, go into prayer, so that God can give you that clarity that you desire. And when God feels that you're ready for the clarity, he will. But if you give up, if you throw in the towel, or if you're like, you know what, I'm going to make the decision for God since I haven't heard from him yet, you may be a week away from your solution. You may be a day away from a solution. You may be a phone call away. Whatever the case may be, the solution is right around the corner, but we have to make sure that we truly believe in God and do not give up on him. There's so many reasons to give up, and it takes so much effort to hang on. It really does, because at that point, you're dealing with things mentally, and that's where the enemy comes into play. He likes to play with your mind, and hey, see, I told you, trust in that God. This is what it gets you. How does he have you like this? Whatever he does, he knows how to get into your mind and say the right words or create the right circumstances to make you doubt God, like he's not in control. When we serve a God that is so sure of us that he knew who we were going to be before we were born. That's how sure of God. He knew all the mistakes that we would make. It's not like he didn't know. He was like, yeah, I knew you were going to do that. And that's why I kept you here, though. Maybe you're like, hey, you don't even know how you got home last night, but I kept you. You put yourself in this health situation by, not taking care of your body the best that you could, but I've kept you. I've given you a solution, and you're just waiting on the result. Hey, you chose to go in that bad relationship after I gave you all the obvious signs that you shouldn't have went into it, but guess what? I allowed you to heal from that. Hey, you made that bad decision at work and you chose to quit out of emotion and anger, but I gave you grace and allowed another job to call you that can provide provision for you and your family. Whatever the case may be, we always have to remember that sometimes We are closer than we think. We really are. And that's why it's so hard for me to give up on anything, because I'm like, I would hate to be that person that the solution was right around the corner and I done gave up. Let's say I'm like, you know what, God, you're not going to do anything for me with music and this and that. And then let's say a week later, somebody contacts me and says, hey, we want you to do this for us. Can you do this by this date? And I done sold all the equipment. It'll put you in a really bad spot mentally. And it'll be just God's way of saying, why did you give up? Why didn't you wait? Why didn't you wait on me? Why did you feel like you had to take matters into your own hands? Same thing with the food business. He's like, hey, I gotten it legal for you. The hard part is done. So yes, you're wanting the result, but the delay is to save it. You're thinking because nothing is happening the way that you truly want is because it's not going to be successful. It hasn't failed. It's merely in a state of pause. And sometimes we have to realize that sometimes these particular instances in our life are to protect us more than we realize. It's to protect the vision, the gift, the dream, the circumstance, even your health, more than we realize. Maybe a delayed appointment was a great thing because the doctor wasn't feeling well, and maybe he wouldn't have did the best job that he knows that he could have done. You know, we don't know why God does what he does. Maybe there was a car accident that he was trying to make you avoid. Sometimes we're so close to what we desire, marriage, things of that nature, that God is like, if you could only see my timetable, but if I gave that to you, then there'll be no faith. You have no reason to have faith in me and to believe and have hope. And that's why he challenges us with this waiting period, this period of in our life sometimes where we feel idle and nothing's happening, when really a lot is happening. God may be working on somebody else that's going to be the solution to your problem. So my encouragement is to stay the course, keep the faith, seek God, draw near to him, and go into prayer. Go into prayer, because things take time. They do. But the best things come with patience. Houses that are just thrown up, the issues start to persist in a short period of time. The houses that they made sure everything was right, they took the time, they did it right, everything lasts the way it should. Fast food is fast food for a reason, and that's why the quality isn't that good. But when you go to a restaurant, you have to wait. But the food is delicious. The presentation is amazing. There's a level of expectation because you have to wait for it. But when you get something fast, the level of expectation, you're expecting greatness. But when it's not that, it's like, well, you wanted a microwave result. This is what you get. So hold on. This message is for me as well. Hold on. Don't give up. Draw near to God. Draw near to him. Go into prayer. Seek him. Seek that clarity that you truly desire and wait for the response. So I hope this message has been a blessing. Hope you all have a great day. If you feel led to subscribe, like, share, whatever the case may be, definitely do so. It's always appreciated. And I hope you have a great weekend. Until next time.